Picture this, it's election night in Guyana, the land once dreamed of as El Dorado. Oil rigs gleam offshore, gold caravans roll through Georgetown, and every politician is promising change like it's on sale at Border Market. But instead of the usual Afro versus Indo showdown, something extraordinary happens. A new party, with a flashy name, We Invest in Nationhood, WIN, steals the spotlight. And at the center, a 38-year-old businessman with no college degree, a Lamborghini habit, and a father still facing US sanctions. His name is Azruddin Mohamed. Some say he's a crook and the worst possible face to lead Guyana's democracy. Afro-Guyanese communities whisper that this marks the final erasure of their voice. And America says, if he takes power, we're cutting ties. This is not just an election story. It's a tale of money, religion, oil, sanctions, and survival in one of the world's richest yet poorest nations. Before we dive in, hit subscribe, because I promise, Guyana's politics make Game of Thrones look like Sesame Street. And smash that like button like Azruddin smashing duty fees at customs. Azruddin Intiaz Mohamed was born on March 1, 1987. But unlike most Guyanese kids, he wasn't running barefoot in the cane fields or hustling doubles by the roadside. No, he was born into a gold empire. His father, Nozor Mohamed, built Mohamed's enterprise, a sprawling Cambayo and gold exporting dynasty that made the family one of the wealthiest in the entire country. Azruddin didn't inherit textbooks, he inherited treasure chests. He didn't inherit lectures, he inherited Lamborghinis. While other kids dreamed of flying kites at Easter, little Azruddin probably dreamed of flying private jets. And this is where the contrast lies. While Afro-Guyanese descendants of slaves fought for survival, while Indo-Guyanese cane workers sweated in the fields, the Mohammeds sat atop Guyana's gold mountain, building a fortune so vast it eventually caught Washington's attention. In June 2024, the fairy tale cracked. The US State Department sanctioned both Nozor and Azruddin, accusing them of public corruption, money laundering, and evading over US $50 million in duty taxes on gold exports. And here's where the story gets juicy. Azruddin had imported a Lamborghini Huracan. On the paperwork, he valued it at $75,000. Reality check? It was worth $695,000. That's not just under-invoicing, that's stand-up comedy. Imagine walking into customs with a Rolex and saying, "Nah boss, this is a Casio, $20. The sanctions weren't just financial, they were political dynamite. The US ambassador, Nicole Teo, openly warned that if Azruddin ever became president, Washington would cut ties with Guyana itself. Think about that. A country swimming in new oil wealth, suddenly blacklisted because its leader was too corrupt for the world's biggest superpower. So why would a man under sanctions jump into politics? Because power protects wealth. Simple as that. In late May 2025, Azruddin launched the WIN party, We Invest in Nationhood. And to everyone's shock, it worked. His slogan wasn't about socialism, or race, or even oil nationalism. It was about investment. About turning Guyana's billions into visible results. And for voters tired of hearing the same old promises, his billions made him sound believable. He even promised to donate his entire presidential salary to charity. Now, when your net worth is estimated in the hundreds of millions, giving away a $100,000 salary is like me donating the fries I didn't want with my order. But hey, it sounded noble. And the result? WIN leapfrogged APNU, Guyana's traditional Afro-Guyanese opposition party, and became the new main opposition. For the first time since the 1950s, Afro-Guyanese had no major political voice. Instead, the sanctioned Prince of Gold would now sit across from President Irfaan Ali in Parliament. But this isn't just about money. This is about identity. Azruddin is Indo-Guyanese. He is Muslim. And his rise is happening in a country where politics has long been defined by ethnic and religious divides. For decades, Afro-Guyanese Christians rallied behind the PNC-APNU, while Indo-Guyanese Hindus and Muslims rallied behind the PPP. This tug-of-war kept the balance, however uneasy. But with APNU collapsing, Afro-Guyanese are now politically homeless. And in their place rises not just an Indo-Guyanese leader, but a Muslim billionaire dynasty ready to rewrite Guyana's story. It's a cultural earthquake. And Afro-Guyanese feel the tremors most. For Afro-Guyanese, this isn't just a defeat, it's an existential crisis. The descendants of enslaved Africans, brought to Guyana in chains, built the backbone of this country. They cleared the forests, worked the sugar, resisted colonialism, and fought for independence. Yet now, in 2025, their voice is fading. Their party has collapsed. Their leaders sidelined. Their communities, once the heart of Guyana's resistance, are politically invisible. Instead, Indo-Guyanese wealth, Indo-Guyanese religion, and Indo-Guyanese dynasties now dominate both government and opposition. Afro-Guyanese look at Azruddin and see not just a politician, they see the final erasure of their history, their Christianity, their cultural identity. And here's the cruel irony. Afro-Guyanese didn't bring this on themselves. The blame stretches back centuries, to colonialism, to divide-and-rule tactics, to the importation of indentured Indian labourers meant to undercut freed African workers. Now, centuries later, the system has flipped, and the descendants of the enslaved are left watching from the sidelines as gold barons write the laws. Critics say Guyana is no longer the Christian land Afro-Guyanese once knew. Instead, it's becoming a land of pagan wealth, of oil contracts, gold fortunes, Lamborghinis, and corruption dressed up as democracy. Where once hymns echoed in Georgetown churches, now the loudest sound is the roar of luxury engines and the whisper of oil rigs. And that's the tension. Is Guyana moving forward, or is it selling its soul? But let's not just point fingers at Azruddin. Who's really to blame for this moment? The colonial British, who enslaved Africans and imported Indians to divide the workforce. The political elites, who fed off racial division for decades. The West, who now courts Guyana for oil but turns a blind eye to corruption when it suits their contracts. And yes, the Guyanese people themselves, who sometimes trade votes for quick favors instead of long-term vision. Azruddin is not the disease, he's the symptom of a deeper sickness in Guyana's body politic. So here we are. Guyana's new political map is drawn by oil rigs, gold vaults, and a sanctioned billionaire who values Lamborghinis like used Toyotas. Azruddin Intiaz Mohamed is about to become leader of the opposition. Afro-Guyanese are left without a voice. Washington is sharpening its sanctions knife. And ordinary Guyanese? They're wondering if democracy is just another product being auctioned off to the highest bidder. Is Azruddin the bold, young outsider who will finally invest in the nation? Or is he the final sign that money, not morality, rules this land? One thing is certain. In Guyana, El Dorado was never a myth. The gold is real. The oil is real. The power struggles are real. But so too are the voices being lost. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because this story isn't just Guyana's. And remember, next time you're at customs, don't declare your Rolex as plastic watch. Unless, of course, you're planning to run for office. Thanks for watching.